Danny Pardi was not only a fixture in New England motorsports racing, but he was also the backbone behind NEAR and the Hall of Fame. This award is given out every year for people who dedicate to everything behind the scenes, for the preparation, so this goes off flawlessly, sometimes without a hiccup, but people always regain composure and we make it work. And it's also a time that we thank all the past veterans and the new inductees. We congratulate you. And this is an award this year goes out to somebody that I know has contacted every Hall of Famer, past and last year, this year, about t-shirt sizes, plaques, everything. It's somebody that behind the scenes that has worked very hard, very diligent over the last few years to make sure this goes off flawlessly. And Danny would be very proud to have this person carry his name on since 2008. Ladies and gentlemen, this year's inductee, or the honoree of the Danny Pardi Award, is Mr. Paul Masse, past president.
Thank you very much. There is something about the Hall of Fame that attracted me to NEAR many, many years ago. I'm certainly not a racer, although I do a pretty good job in the pits. If you need somebody to polish wheels, clean windshields, see me after the program and I'll give you my number and I gladly will do that. But that's all I do. I'm one of those persons since 1949 have been going to auto races, mostly in Connecticut, also Seekonk, and a track that closed in Massachusetts. Yes, I am one of those railbirds, one of those persons who buys a ticket, sits and enjoys the beautiful sport of auto racing. I think the coolest job in racing, though, is not doing windshields or wheels. I think the coolest job, I know there's some people here that have cool jobs in racing. I don't know where Mike Joy is, but he certainly has a cool job in racing, and there are a lot of people that do, including Matt Buckler. But I think the coolest job is the guy who stands on his flag stand and throws the green flag for the beginning of any feature race at any track. Or if they go to a drag race, at home as I see it, Mr. Doyle, when the Christmas tree drops down and it's a rush. It really, really is. I don't know what it is to go that fast. I have no clue. The last ticket I received was for talking on my cell phone. So I don't know how fast I was going, but fast enough that the policeman chased me for 5 miles before I stopped. Anyway, I don't know what that speed is like, but it's going to be absolutely awesome. Even the supers, when the supers race at Thompson, I am always amazed, just absolutely amazed by what they do. But however, NEAR is run 100% by volunteers. Yes, we have vendors, but we are all volunteers. No one does their job by themselves. And I know, speaking to all of you who have something to do with racing, there isn't an owner, a track owner, a car owner, or a driver who does it all by themselves. NEAR fits right in because we do not do anything by themselves, and of course that includes me. There are some people I want to thank, however. Certainly the boards of directors that I have worked with over the last 4 or 5 years, I really would like to thank them. The selection committee for the Hall of Fame, its chairperson, Pete Newsham, Mark Alden is vice chair, and Bones Boussier also has a lot to do with conducting the business of selecting, which is really quite a process. They do one heck of a job. The writers of the plaques, now that might seem, we read it and say, well, somebody's going to do it. One of those persons from the Veterans Committee is Nick Tito, who's written the plaques, and Justin St. Louis from the great state of Vermont. I was in Vermont last year. We all know it's the Green Mountain State. The number plate, registration plates are green, and it says the Green Mountain State. I don't know if they got an identity crisis. I have no idea, but we have a lot of people from Vermont who come to this gathering and who are in the Hall of Fame. There's no doubt about it. 2 other people that I would like to thank, and I want to just give a little report on Val Lasser. Val was stricken. Now, he had the job of putting the booklet together. And he does a fantastic job every year. But Val was not feeling well in the closing days of putting the booklet together. And as soon as he finished and got it off, to the printers. He asked his daughter, Valerie, to take him to the doctor. And he was in a hospital for 10 days. We got the job done. And that's where Val is. Val is home. He receives 2 IVs every day. And he's sort of kind of quarantined when I picked up the books and all those kinds of things. I did it away from Valerie's house, and she gave me all the stuff that I needed for today. So Val has been a tremendous support of the years that I was president, and especially working in the Hall of Fame. He is just incredible, the amount of information that he has, and he's willing to share it, but he was a real support to me for a long time. The other person who fits in that category was going into the Hall of Fame in a little while is Rick Mariscal. Rick Mariscal is responsible, really, for putting the Hall of Fame vehicle, the museum, the mobile museum, on the map. No doubt about it. He has done less recently, and I've been doing more, and along with Rich Goucher, getting the truck around to different tracks and different venues. But he certainly had a lot to do with it. He, too, is a wealth of information when it comes to tracks, to racing, and people. When I go, and I did, but especially when I was president, travel throughout New England, usually there are a couple people that they want to know about. One is Rick Mariscal. The other is Val DeSur, and the other is R.A. Sylvia. So I'm telling you, we have people in there that really have been tremendous in getting the word out on what the Hall of Fame really, really is. A couple other people I want to thank is Rich Goucher. Rich, for the last 5 years or so, has been responsible for all reservations. So he's the president now. You've already met him. If you have a complaint, don't see him today. But he's the one who's really in charge of doing everything. The other, of course, is Mr. Buckler. Matt is always, the tracks that he works, always gives us a lot of kudos for what we do in putting this Hall of Fame together. It is really, really, really a tremendous pleasure to be part of it. And I think Pete mentioned that, yes, I have the last 5-6 years I've been speaking to all the Hall of Famers. You all called me back at least once. The Webbers probably me more often than most. But anyway, and that was what my role was, is to make sure that all the Hall of Famers and the family members have a nice day today, one that they can remember and have a lot of memories from. And all of you who are here today have something to do with auto racing. So, I bow to you. I really do. Thank you very much.